Hello, beautiful. How are you? Thank you so much for being here as always. My name is Stamatina, but you can call me Matina, like Latina with an M. And I want to share with you a theme that's coming up in my life, which is again about anger. I feel like it's definitely been a recurring emotion that I've been dealing with lately. So I'm sure that the collective is dealing with it too. Obviously, with everything going on in the world, wherever you are, there's always something happening. Um, but it just feels like we're reaching this climax moment as a society, right? Where, we've all had enough and we're getting to the point where we're just questioning every single aspect of our lives, both on a mass scale as well as internally. And, naturally, one of the most potent emotions to come up is anger. And that is why I love working with my dragons, my spirit guides, as well as just the avatar of the dragon as an archetype that is within me that I see as like a best friend, a mentor, a guide, to show me how to deal with certain emotions, specifically anger, right? So today I'm going to guide you on a short guided meditation and intention practice before we get into the sound healing and dragon light language activation. So if you haven't already watched my previous video about the dragon activation and meditation, that was super helpful in terms of seeing your own emotion of anger as an avatar, as a best friend, a mirror to you, to kind of reflect back to you what kind of values that you hold dear and are your treasures essentially. And anyways, I won't give too much of that away. Go check it out if you haven't already, but this is kind of a continuation on from that. So in a similar way, I invite you, as we settle into this practice, to contemplate and think about the last time that you were angry and it made you scared, where you were like so shocked or surprised or scared even, to see how angry you got, whether it was at another person, situation, or even at yourself. And where did that emotion of being scared come from? Was it actually you who was scared, or did you make somebody else scared? Did you see fear in their eyes? Did you see or feel fear in your eyes? Where was that sense of being scared coming from? And think about exactly what made you scared. Was it, the fact that somebody else got scared from your emotions? Was it how intense your emotion was? Or was it simply the fact that you realized that you were so powerful, that your emotions could trigger something inside of you so powerful, a reaction so powerful that maybe you hadn't seen before, that you didn't know that you were capable of feeling or expressing or letting out? Or maybe it was showing you, something, a trigger that you were not aware of. So, potentially you were becoming aware from the first time a value that you had, a boundary that you had, a trigger that you had, a core wound that you hadn't already confronted. And perhaps there was a fear there of confronting it for the first time, let alone, the work that was required to face it and release it. Meaning, feeling the feels, letting it arise and come up out of you. And maybe it scared you that you projected that onto somebody else as opposed to yourself. And at the end of the day, we're all just mirrors of each other, right? We're all experiencing life through the infinite versions of ourselves, of each other. can only do that through the experiences and relationships that we have with other people, the experiences that we have, different people, places, things. So I invite you again to contemplate on what made you scared in that moment. What was it showing you? What was it teaching you? And if it truly was in relation to your power, can you make peace with your power, with your fierceness, with your ferocity, with your aliveness? Because anger is just another emotion that we all have, right? And it's only natural, it's like a spectrum. We're not just meant to be happy or sad all the time, but anger is so powerful in teaching us, the definition, I guess, of who we are, what we're willing to settle for or stand for, I should say, and where the line draws as to, who I am, what I'm allowing in my space, in my energetic space, in my field, in my life, essentially, how I'm creating my life by what I allow in and what I don't allow in. And so, I'm going to speak as a female, especially as females, we've been conditioned and taught that our fierceness is a big no-no, right? It's like, oh, the hormones are acting up again, or she's lost the plot, or she's a witch, it's a full moon, and whatever other stories there are. Whereas like for men, it's almost celebrated to express their anger because it shows, oh wow, such authority, what a leader, somebody who isn't afraid to express their emotions, a man who can express their emotions, wow. Whereas like a woman who does that, it's like, what's wrong with that? Are we going to lock her up, or when can we put her away? And so I don't want to make everything about gender in these videos. Obviously, I can only just speak from my own experience. At least, these are the sorts of comments or projections I've received from others when expressing my anger. Even if unsaid, as a super empath, I can pick up, unfortunately, energetically, what people are thinking. And so I have constant work to do surrounding my anger, especially being brought up in a household that did not have healthy coping mechanisms surrounding anger. There was a lot of physical violence in the household, which I don't want to dwell into. But this sort of meditation practice has really helped me to see anger, these emotions, as my friends who are teaching me something. It's kind of like that movie, what was it, with all the different emotions? There was like joy and sadness. Anyways, you guys can tell me in the comments. You know what I'm talking about. So in a similar way, I see these emotions as my friends now. That's why they say like, make friends with your demons, and your demons are literally just the shadow aspects of you, the dark side of you, same as your light side. Once we come into acceptance for all of us, all the good, all the bad, all the dark, all the light, and what they're trying to teach us, just like all the people in our lives who are trying to teach us, who are our friends, whether we know it or not. We're all just walking each other home to the remembrance of who we are, the totality of who we are, which is love. And that comes in many different forms, through the shadow form, through the light form. Once we make acceptance of that, specifically related to anger, because it's one of the most powerful emotions, especially as we learn how to alchemize it and transmute it into our power, because that's another reason why they don't want us to learn how to manage this emotion, because it's one of the most powerful transformation tools to step into our power. Because if I know how to harness, control, and transmute my anger into something that's powerful, like a breath of fire, literally, metaphorically, and transmute that anger into a piece of art, into a piece of creation to the world, into a piece of education for the masses, whatever it may be, even just a simple conversation, even just a tiny sliver of wisdom. I've shared my experience of anger and now I've turned it into a case that I can share, a case study with friends or family or the internet. That's powerful. That's transmutation, and that's where a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in the shame of anger and don't know what to do with it. Whereas if we just embrace the totality of we are, that yes, I'm a human being, sometimes I get angry and I mess up and I stuff up, and I'm so beautiful for that, because now I know how to make art from anger. I know how to make love from anger. I know how to build worlds from anger, not necessarily from ego, but from a healed version of this emotion, because every emotion has two sides to it, right? And so coming back to our avatar, our best friend of a dragon that hopefully you can see in your mind's eye when you close your eyes through this sound healing, and ask it, what's its name? What does it look like? What color is it? Where did it come from? When did it first start appearing in your life? Maybe the first instance that you can recall really being scared of your anger, even if it wasn't just recently. Was it in childhood? Was it in teenagehood? Maybe it's been more recent for you. Maybe you've been super chill your whole life. I mean, kudos to you if that's you. That has not been me. So think back to that time when you were first scared of your power, and why do you think you were scared of it? What would happen if you were not afraid of your anger or your power? Would it make you more powerful? If you became best friends with your anger, who would you be? What would you look like? What would you do? What would it mean? Would it mean that you stepped into the highest vision of yourself? That you stopped dimming your light, your essence, yourself, your true self for others, and were so unapologetically yourself, however colorful you are, and stepped into this role of being fearless, fierce, ferocious because of your anger, because you have come to peace with how your boundaries, your values, whatever, have been overstepped your whole life, and you're like, no, enough is enough. There is a purpose for this anger. It's teaching me who I am, where my lines are around me, and I will allow no one in the future to ever come in between me and my power and my ferociousness. And if that requires me to be angry, to become angry, I'm going to show my anger. I'm going to express my anger. So hopefully you can contemplate on a few of these things with your dragon. And at the end of that, if you are settled into the issues that come up, the answers that come up, I want you to thank your dragon, thank your best friend for showing you that it's okay to be powerful, that it's more than okay to be powerful. It's more than okay to step into all of you, all of your aliveness, all of your life, which includes anger. So with that, I hope you have a great meditation with your anger, and let us begin. hera kata tutai. Kutu oina la kata ese. Ora kata aina, ora kata ana la kutus. Kutu kara kese ena koela ka aya hana. Koera kese kete te ishe ena la. Use ena kata rai aya hosh isiki itiki arra kata ana ash. Shu aina kusuya la kata era ka. Ata aya la kese kuya na kata aina kutu. Huashkana kara kasela kata aina. Kuina kasala kata aina ha. Nukara kata ena aya kusuya shehena. Laya haseh kata ara kashia oya tukutsuku. Ataka enela oya kutukuna. Asaki ish ara kusa.